meeting, so. Treasurer Aldridge?
Stan Aldridge, Gypsy Civic Center.
Clerk Rowe?
Ypsilanti Township, present.
Trustee Swanson?
Debbie Swanson, present, Ypsilanti Township.
Gloria Peterson?
Gloria Peterson, Ypsilanti Township.
John Newman?
Trustee John Newman, present, Ypsilanti Township.
And Jimmy Wilson?
Trustee Jimmy Wilson, present, Ypsilanti Township.
And Brenda Stumbo, present, Ypsilanti Township. The first item on the agenda are public comments. You have 3 minutes to speak on public comments, and you can also speak on the agenda item. Are there any public comments? I see one hand. Alicia?
Hi. I just want to say, in a moment of impressive unity, Ypsi Township voters approved recreational marijuana. Every precinct from Holmes Road, West Village to Green Farms voted yes. As in public service, we have a duty and loyalty to people we serve, and delaying Ypsi Township from entering into the market is hurting our first mover advantage and revenue. Lost revenue hurts our people and our kids. Recreational marijuana, unlike medical cannabis, has a 10% excise tax and a 6% sales tax attached to it. Excise tax revenue goes to local governments and helps fund schools and roads. The Senate Fiscal Agency projected recreational marijuana would rack up $150 million in sales and excise taxes for this year. Next year, we could see tax revenues reach $262 million. The opportunity cost is too high to not move quickly on this. It is well documented and no secret that the township court is funded by traffic fines and costs. COVID dramatically hurt that funding, and it's not sustainable. Using that funding structure pits police against the community where tickets they write become more important over their safety and the safety of our residents. When the traffic fine and costs aren't generating enough money then comes out of our Ypsi Township General Fund to fund our court. Alternatives to revenue should be a top priority. Recreational marijuana tax revenue can promote growth and enhance equity in our township if we get moving and don't wait another year. Dragging our feet on this when looking at the big picture is a slap in the face to first responders, residents, and people harmed by marijuana prohibition, and quite frankly, employees in the court and township offices that have had to worry about their jobs. Last and not least, the social equity piece to recreational marijuana can and should be determined by the people adversely impacted by marijuana prohibition. We have a chance here to uplift the communities harmed and denied equal opportunities and access to safety in our township. Archaic viewpoints around marijuana shouldn't be taking front and center, while people's rights to benefiting from the legalization sit backstage. We've asked for more time. We've taken a lot of time already, and 1 more year is unacceptable and irresponsible and harmful and shows laziness on behalf of planners when other areas have made this a priority and have gotten this done much faster. I want to thank Trustee Jimmy Wilson and Heather Rowe for voting no initially on prolonging the time on this and for listening to the people you serve. Reality is people don't always come to these meetings. We put our faith in our leaders, and we played footsie around this topic for too long. Seeing us dilly-dallying from our township is disappointing, and we need to do something right. We need to move forward and show people in our township that they matter, and 1 more year on this is unacceptable. I'd like to use the remainder of my time for us to silently reflect on the people harmed by marijuana prohibition in our township. Thank you.
Thank you. And I know people don't have to give their name or their address anymore per Zoom rules, but if they could just state if they're in the township, that would be helpful. You don't have to. I understand that.
My name is Alicia Dyer, Ypsilanti Township.
Thank you. But you don't have to. That's rules. Are there any other public comments at this time? No? Right. Seeing none, we will go on to the consent agenda. We have minutes of the March 2nd work session and regular meetings, statements and checks, and the treasurer's report for February of 2021. A motion would be in order?
So moved, Gerald Rowe.
Support.
Motion Gerald Rowe, support Eldridge. Is there questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Attorney's report was given at the work session under old business. We have the second reading of resolution 2021-11 which is proposed ordinance 2021-495, and ordinance amending ordinance 2020-490, which is extending the time period of prohibiting recreational marijuana establishments in Ypsilanti Township as provided by the Recreational Marijuana Ballot Initiative of 2018 for 1 year due to COVID. The first reading was held at the February 16th, 2021 regular meeting. Clerk Rowe?
Yes, I have the Charter Township of Ypsilanti Resolution 2021-11 in reference to proposed ordinance amendment 2021-495, prohibiting recreational marijuana establishments within Ypsilanti Township is provided by the Recreational Marijuana Ballot Initiative 1 of 2018. Whereas at the regular meeting of the Ypsilanti Township Board of Trustees held on June 16, 2020, the Township Board adopted ordinance number 2020-490, which prohibited recreational marijuana establishments within Ypsilanti Township as provided by the Recreational Marijuana Ballot Initiative 1 of 2018. And whereas Township Ordinance number 2020-490 contained a section entitled Effective Dates, which stated inter alia that this ordinance shall cease effect on March 31st, 2021. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has placed constraints on the Ypsilanti Township Board of Trustees and the Ypsilanti Township Planning Commission's ability to schedule and hold meetings in person so as to fulfill the township's commitment to achieve community engagement with its residents, neighborhood watch groups, and businesses, and all other interested community organizations regarding a number of regulatory and land use decisions that will be codified in the Ypsilanti Township zoning ordinance as it pertains to recreational marijuana. And whereas the Ypsilanti Township Board of Trustees wishes to fulfill this commitment of community engagement, and as such has determined that the effective date of the ordinance number 2020-490 to cease effect should be extended to March 31st, 2022, so as to allow for further community engagement, as well as the adoption of ordinances and regulations pertaining to recreational marijuana. Now therefore it be resolved that the ordinance amendment number 2021-495 attached hereto is incorporated by reference and is hereby adopted in its entirety. I would so move the ordinance.
Motion, Gerald Rowe? Motion, Gerald Rowe?
Yes, I would so move the.
Yeah, you did. You need a second to proceed with discussion.
Swanson, support.
We have a motion and support. Are there other questions or comments and discussion? I know we discussed it at length in the work session. Hearing none and seeing no hands raised, we have to do a roll call vote because this is a actual ordinance. Gerald Rowe?
Yes.
Eldridge?
Yes.
Peterson?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Newman?
Yes.
And Wilson?
No.
The second reading of the ordinance is approved. Under new business, we have requests of property owners Mark R. and Linda S. Gerard to terminate the PA 116 farmland development rights agreement for the 57 acres located at 7200 and 7300 Button Road.
Madam Supervisor, I would so move to request to approve the application for termination of the farmland development rights agreement submitted by property owners Mark and Linda Gerard.
Support.
There's a motion and support
Eldridge.
Treasurer Eldridge. I know that we discussed in the work session of also attaching the information from the Planning Commission into any letters that are written to the state in regards to preserving the open space and hopefully future agricultural. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Oops, we have some people raise their hand here. Let me. Did I miss it? Okay, I thought someone raised their hand, but they didn't. All right, the motion carries. Monica Ross Williams. All right, I'm seeing people raise their hand and then come down, so I'm not sure what's occurring. I apologize. So we had a motion support. We all voted in favor. Is that correct? Number 2 is a resolution 2021-12 approving contract with the Michigan Department of Transportation for additional work on US 12 and M17. Clerk Gerald.
Yes, I have Charter Township of Ypsilanti Resolution number 2021-12 approving the contract with Michigan Department of Transportation for additional work on US 12 and M17. Clerk Heather Darrow Rowe offered the following resolution and moved it for its adoption. Be it resolved that MDOT contract number 21-5085, control section M81063, job number 205493, by and between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the Charter Township of Ypsilanti is hereby accepted. I would so move the resolution.
Support Peterson.
Motion Gerald, support Peterson. Is there discussion? This is for the, we discussed it in the work session, the $8 million grant that was received from MDOT. State Representative Peterson was able to help us get this, and it will make the safety improvements as well as beautification. And on US 12, which is right by West Willow, and then M17 is the E-course side. So it'll be safer, it'll be well lit, and it'll have pathways and signage and mast arms, and it will occur this year. It is out for bid right now, so we'll keep everyone updated as that proceeds. We have a motion support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3 is request to approve the 7th Amendment to the Crystal Ponds Master Deed.
So moved, Darrow Rowe.
Support Wilson.
We have a motion by Gerald Rowe, support by Wilson, to approve the 7th Amendment to Crystal Ponds Master Deed. Is there questions or comments? Attorney Winters, is this in proper form?
Yes, and as I indicated during the work session, I see Jason's on the Zoom meeting. It's basically it's a housekeeping matter. The developers extended, I think, certain triplex units to be a larger, maybe for a kitchen. And anyways, they have to match up the master deed with what was approved by the township in previous months in regards to making those type of changes. Does not increase the number of units in the development, but it is a housekeeping matter that has to be attended to this evening by approving the amendment to the master deed.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item 4 is the request to approve the repairs to fire engine 14-7 in the amount of $10,195.92. Budget in line item 206-206-000-863-004.
So moved, Eldridge.
Support Peterson.
So motion by Eldridge, supported by Peterson to approve the repairs for the fire engine. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5 is a request to approve professional engineering design services with OHM for Ford Boulevard sidewalk improvements in the amount of $19,900, which is budgeted in line item 212-212-000-818-000-006. I apologize.
So moved Peterson.
Motion Peterson.
Support, Darrow Rowe.
Support Gerald Rowe. Are there questions and comments on this? This is to have ADA compliant sidewalks on Ford Boulevard and Clark Road, Harris Road, Holmes Road. And this is part of our litigation that we had a couple years ago, and we're working with the road commission to get all of these ADA compliant and improve the walkability in that area as well. So any questions or comments? Hearing none, we have a motion support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 6 is a request approval for AAA Auto Parts and Services to be designated as a preferred vehicle repair shop for township repairs less than $1,000.
So moved. Swanson.
Support Eldridge.
Motion Swanson, support Eldridge to approve the request. This is a local township business, and it's for repairs under $1,000 or less. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 7 is Resolution 21-13, 2021 Land and Water Conservation Fund Grant for Club View Park. Clerk Rowe? Rowe, sorry.
I'm sorry about that, Supervisor Stumbo. Let's see. Deputy Stanfield, would you mind screen sharing that resolution for me, the Land and Water Conservation Fund Grant? My apologies for not doing that for the other ones, so you guys had to look at me.
No problem. All right, you want to start?
Yep, there we go. All right, I have Charter Township of Ypsilanti Resolution 2021-13, the Land and Water Conservation Grant Fund for Clubview Park. Whereas the Charter Township of Ypsilanti in Washtenaw County, Michigan supports the submission of an application titled Clubview Park Improvements to the Land and Water Conservation Fund for development of new tennis and pickleball courts at Clubview Park. And whereas the proposed application is supported by the community's 5-year approved Parks and Recreation Plan. And whereas the Charter Township of Ypsilanti is hereby making a financial commitment to the project in the amount of $147,500 matching funds in cash and or force account. And now therefore be resolved that the Charter Township of Ypsilanti hereby authorizes submission of a Land and Water Conservation Fund application for $147,500 and further resolves to make available its financial obligation amount of $147,500 of a total of $295,000 project costs during the 2022 to 2023 fiscal year. I would so move the resolution.
Support.
We have a motion by Gerald Rowe, supported by Treasurer Eldridge. Questions or comments? I know Mike Hoffmeister is on the Zoom meeting.
Yes, thank you, Madam Supervisor. This is a resolution to support a NDNR grant that we did not receive last year. This is a different grant than which we applied for the first time for Clubview Park in hopes that we can get it approved in the next grant cycle. So we appreciate your support.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
I just want to say thank you to former park commissioners who kind of held the idea that we wanted this resource and these amenities to stay in our parks. And I appreciate the work that's been done to reconfigure and to restore them, because it's been happening in a lot of the parks. So I appreciate that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to number 8, request authorization for circuit court litigation to abate public nuisances. by padlocking at 1777 West Michigan Avenue, 649 North Ivanhoe, and 1148 Fall River, which is budgeted in line item 101-950-000-801-023.
So moved, Peterson.
Motion Peterson,
Support Wilson.
support Wilson. Is there discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 9 is request authorization for circuit court litigation to abate public nuisance located at 505 Holmes Road and 1636 South Pasadena, which is budgeted in line item 101-950-000-801-023.
So moved, Gerald Rowe.
Support Peterson.
Motion Gerald Rowe, support Peterson. Is there discussion? We discussed these in the work session.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Trustee Wilson.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi was going out when I was trying to make some comments on this particular agenda item, so I just want to make those comments now. The first one was, you probably heard it. I'm glad that community mental health was involved with the first house on Holmes Road. Obviously, there's an issue there, and I'm glad that they, hopefully got the help that they needed. And then regarding the second home, I think Treasurer Eldridge mentioned this before about we may want to look at how long we will allow some of these property owners to continue to have a blight. I think in the packet it says 19 occurrences over a lot of years. So it's kind of like, at what point do we step in? Obviously, we want to give our residents a chance to correct issues, but there's a certain point where we have to cut it off. But that was the only comments I want to make. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Wilson. Other comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under authorization bids, we have just the request to seek sealed bids for Loon Feather Point Park renovations project, and that will be brought back.
So moved, Swanson.
Support.
Gerald Rowe.
We have a motion and support. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There were no other board member updates at the work session, so a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved, Gerald Rowe.
Motion
Support
Gerald Rowe. Support Wilson, was that correct?
Support Peterson.
I'm sorry, support Peterson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The meeting adjourned at 7:24. Thank you all.
Good night. Thank you.